Daddy, chill.
What the?
Whoa, yo, peace, power, prosperity to the village. Y'all already know what we're here to do, why we are here. Hope everybody's having a beautiful day. Hopefully everybody's having a weekend and there's an off day for those who have off days during the week, such as life, right? Rather have income than not have any income at all. We're about to talk about these two weirdos. And I'm trying to use better words. I really am. So weirdo's the one I could come up with right now. But these baby back boys out here, like bumping their guns. That's who we're gonna be talking about right now for this show. Setting the alarm, let everybody know we up in the town square, kicking it. I'm not gonna stall on this one. Ready to roll. We get one or two things together real quick. Get the screens rolling, and we in there. Screens. Let me see. We got playback speed. Bump that up. All right, we rolling.
It's a cult. You culture jam the whole thing with just such a background of ridiculous crap that then the serious arguments get lost in it. And so that's where we're at. And so there's no doubt that's happening. The question is, are these people involved in it? We all know their names. Are they doing it consciously? Or are they just kind of following the algorithm, knowing if they do this, it gets boosted? Because you still get, because I've looked at it, we get suppressed everywhere where we're even allowed to operate, X, you name it. You do. You have almost no bots. Anybody's got some bots doing stuff. You look at a Candance Owens. I mean, we've had internet groups look at it. It's like 80% bot. She's, literally on my phone. I'm not on YouTube. I'm not on all these things. It's pushed to me. Everybody I know. She is pushed by the system. She's never gets in trouble at YouTube. Never gets in trouble on Instagram. So you know when someone's never been censored.
Ah, God. Do we know this to be true or not true? Flat out, blatant lie. She already got smoked. Her boots already got smoked by YouTube. But that's a lie. It was like 5 months or something like that. But YouTube got on her heels. So why lie?
Never been deplatformed, never been debanged, never put on a no-fly list, never had somebody come to your house to kill you. Like Nick has, and I never talked about my stuff, it's private. I just sit here, everybody saying, I'm the establishment because I've survived this long when I'm barely doing it, and I see this person riding around like a royalty, literally married to royalty, with a bot farm husband behind her, and then it's just obvious what's going on. Nick Fuentes.
Well, I don't.
Let's take a break real quick. So let me explain this to you. I'm gonna give you a quick explanation on this, right? Quick read. Control opposition refers to a tactic used within political movements where certain individuals or groups appear to be opposing dominant power or ideology, but are actually being manipulated or controlled by that very power. The strategy can serve as various purposes, including mass deception, surveillance, or co-opting of genuine dissent. Here's some key insights about control opposition. Definition and purpose. Control opposition can be understood as a form of deception, where control entity is allowed to operate within the movement to mislead the public or neutralize genuine opposition. Ultimate goal is often to create a facade of choice or dissent while ensuring that the dominant power remains unchallenged. Techniques used. Tactics of controlled opposition can include misinformation, disinformation, and strategic communication designed to confuse or mislead the public. This may manifest in the form of false flag events where actions are orchestrated to create a pretext for more significant governmental action. In summary, control opposition is a deceptive strategy used to undermine genuine political movements by creating false fronts that serve the interests of those in power. Understanding this concept is essential for everyone engaged in political activism or interested in the dynamics of power and resistance. Now back to these two pair of shoes.
Know what's up and down, and they don't know what's going on. And
It's pushed to me, everybody I know. She is pushed by the system.
Whoop, not showing. Whoop, 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 whoop. What? Is it showing? No, it's not. There we go. Trying to find the best view for this. This will work.
She's never gets in trouble at YouTube, never gets in trouble on Instagram. So you know when someone's never been censored, never been deplatformed, never been debanged, never put on a no-fly list, never had somebody come to your house and kill you.
I don't see the purpose of lying in this day and age with this level of technology, where all it takes is a search for you to find out information, right? I don't see the point of this lie. But when you have an onslaught of people pushing the, let's be clear, this is one person. Candace Owens is one person, and she has a team. She has a crew. They pull up, they do their thing on the backgrounds, but she is one person. And they all, this group, this controlled opposition group, who really seems like they're the feds? Who seems like they're the feds?
Like Nick has, and I never talked about my stuff, it's private. I just sit here, everybody saying, I'm the establishment because I've survived this long when I'm barely doing it, and I see this person riding around like a royalty, literally married to royalty, with a bot farm husband behind her, and then it's just obvious what's going on. Nick Fuentes.
well, I don't think that I don't think they're necessarily being controlled. I mean, you never know, but I think that a lot of it is just like you said, they're chasing the algorithm. And I think a lot of them are just have a reckless disregard for the truth. And as I said, I don't think they have any kind of ideological foundation. It's people that got red pilled a few minutes ago and they don't know what's up and down and they don't know what's going on. And then these are people that are just getting, it's only in one direction, more extreme, more crazy, more out there, more far-fetched. With Candance, I don't even think it's bots. I think that maybe people just underestimate how many dumb people there are in the world that have an appetite for this crap. People that want to hear about, time travelers and aliens and, everybody secretly transgender at the highest levels. There is a huge appetite. And let's be honest, the right wing has cultivated that. Over the years, the right wing has cultivated this audience of people that it's the QAnon stuff, it's this crazy conspiracy stuff, and there are no guardrails. And now...
This is how you know this is some fat ass shit. With the history that the public has with the governmental agencies in this country, how could you use the fucking word conspiracy theorist in that form and fashion with that type of context and connotation behind it after we know the strict fucked off history? That's how I know you're the Fed, bro. That's how I know you simply can't talk and speak the fucking truth. Simple as day. It's clear as day you are the Feds, though.
Well, the lunatics are quite literally running the asylum. Like the biggest, dumbest lunatic is running the asylum with all the idiots gathered every day for the latest conspiracy. And like with this Charlie...
Like conspiracies just don't exist. This is strange.
Kirk thing I said on my show the other night, it just keeps getting bigger. It starts out with a conspiracy that maybe someone at Turning Point embezzled $1 million and they took him out to hide it. Then it turns into, well, Israel killed him because he was going to go against Israel. Then it's, no, Israel and France and FBI killed him because he was going to do something to change global politics. Now it's the space-time continuum is at stake. He could see the future. He was going to alter outcomes in the future. They had a...
There's a certain way how you talk about things. It's an undertone. And how you speak about it is pretty much you downplaying it, right? So the tone of sarcasm, the tone of how far-fetched it is, right? It's you talk down on it to belittle it. Even though you know that there's a history, a strict history of lies and conspiracies. A strict history of it. It's been going on since the beginning of since agencies pretty much began, right? Since the Roman empires, since these empires existed, conspiracy has been a thing. So for you to sit here with your weird little beard and your little weird mustache and act like these things are just so far-fetched, when the person who's bringing it forward is just saying, yo, this is what I've gathered so far. This is what I know to be true. This is what I've seen. This is the information I've gotten. For y'all to sit here and act like it's just this outlandish thing is how I know y'all are controlled opposition by the Fed. I don't care what nobody say. This little show that y'all did recently is 100% the smoke and gun. Y'all are the Feds. And whoever else is riding with y'all, because I got a list of y'all names right here. Whoever's riding that train, y'all are the Feds. I'm telling y'all the Feds. And Alex Jones, you don't got no room to talk, especially when you was King Conspiracy back in the day. You was King Conspiracy back in the day. And now all of a sudden you're not jacking because of somebody else saying that. But I bet you if it was you saying it.
To protect the integrity of the multiverse. And I don't know, I mean, are people still buying this stuff? But I could tell you one thing, the reason that she's on YouTube when you and I are banned, and remember, you and I both made new channels. When they announced their policy to let everybody back on, you and I both made new channels. We were banned within 24 hours. She is monetized. She is on that platform monetized, never got banned, nothing.
Lies again. Did get strikes, did get the channel sniped up. Remember, she's on YouTube now because the Daily Wire fired her. Ben Shapiro on them. Oh, you don't okay.
On Twitter with a check mark. I can't get a check mark over there. And I don't think there's ever been an interruption in service for her. And the reason being is because they prefer somebody like that. They prefer somebody that is totally outlandish, that can be.
Y'all sound like a bunch of baby back biatches. Sorry. Y'all are some dead ass haters. Y'all the Feds, dog. Ain't no two is about. I know y'all got paid for this. Alex Jones got to pay somebody $1 point some billion for that Sandy Hook bullshit he pulled, right? That whole Sandy Hook shit is like 1 point something billion he owed these people. Alex, you should have nothing to say. You should be working the rest of your life. Well, you have to work the rest of your life, honestly. But maybe you got paid off, or maybe they're gonna hook you up and drop your bill down a little bit. Maybe they finna just make shit happen for you in the background if you come out and attack. Because this is not your first attack, Alex. You've been at it for a little bit now.
Be discredited. That sounds crazy over somebody that actually has an ideological. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I totally agree. Well, here's my deal. I always have the corporate media lie about what I said and build a straw man that I did. Or make a gay frog joke, but I did a whole hour with scientists about the chemical and what it does. They ignore all that, but the one joke at the end.
Maybe you was full of that sauce. I drink too. I get full of that sauce sometimes, and I'll be up here tripping. Maybe you was full of that sauce. Maybe you bit off a little more than you could chew. Gay frogs and Sandy Hook. Now they got on your motherfucking heels. Nah? You sure? Because I know the story.
So they take your little edgelord thing, and when you understand I'm joking, sorry, they cut that part off. They know what they're doing. That's what the listeners know what we're actually saying versus what's going on. But my listeners are like, look at the Egyptian planks, look to it fake. And then, okay, this Mitch thing, look him up, obvious con artist, all this stuff's pure crap. I just say, hey, I think everything's set up, I get attacked. Then he has this whole story about his wife breaking his arms and feet and everything with
Make sure you drink some water.
a hammer and on this date, and he's arrested, he's convicted, videos released of him doing to her what he said she did. And on the date, everything. And they said, well, we don't care if he did that. Prove he wasn't in Fort Huachuca. I'm like, I'm not denying he was at this magical fort. These people all gave alibis.
I'm pretty sure that was disproven, Alex. I'm pretty sure he was the one that was fighting to get his son. I'm almost positive he was the victim. His son got bit by the dog and all the other shit. I'm pretty sure he's the one fighting to see his son right now. Carry on with your fucking bull. This shit right here, dog. It is how you know they're the feds. This is how you know they were sent with an agenda, because they have not said anything so far that's been true. None of them. Nothing they've said has been true. The simple lie about the channel never being taken down, or her never getting strikes, or her being monitored. What? Why are you lying? You baby back biatches. You is scared, and you is weak.
As well, we don't believe those alibis. Even when on C-SPAN, this is going on, the congressman.
Allegedly.
And I reached out and I talked to Trin USA. They wanted my advice. I knew they were going to have to meet her. They gave her all this info, said, please stop. And she doubled down and had Mitch on, to say, by the way, I saw, Erica Kirk there at Huachuca. And then she released her alibi with timestamp geolocated photos. Not good enough. And it was like, she's God. You got to bow to her. The arrogance of this. And then I said, okay, that's enough. And then it came out his ex-wife, or they're still married. She'll never show up to court. Literally sends the footage of the day he's arrested, convicted for menacing with a hammer and beating things, attacking, breaking doors, coming after her in front of the kid, doing what he wouldn't let her leave. She told the shows that she wouldn't let him leave. And I'm like, look, he's a total. They go, we don't care. Her own people said, a prominent host said, Joe, just Mossad, listen, we don't care what Mitch Snow did. We have to listen to him. Turn on his military record where he broke his back. None of that's true. And then it came out. He said in early December, I am the son of the Zodiac Killer, and did shows about it and everything. Then when that comes out, they go, oh, they've hacked his account. Alex Jones has done it. And later they go, no, actually he did interviews about it. They go, well, maybe he is the son of the Zodiac Killer. Plus, he's got the DNA. No one knows who it is. No one has his DNA. But don't worry, bitch has got his DNA. I mean, it's the classic disinfo to bring him in and then have him say he's Santa Claus and discredit it all. I don't see this being done accidentally. The fact that she fished him out, and the fact that she went after RFK Jr. during his confirmation with Mossad and this woman in this car with no proof. It was hard pushed everybody's phones. And of course, none of it was true.
Imagine the only thing that you were doing is trying to figure out what happened to your homie. Imagine that. And the more you look into things, the more things look crazy and fishy and conspiracy driven. Damn, conspiratorial? Yeah, conspiratorial. Yeah, that's the word. Imagine that's all you're doing. And you're figuring out more stuff, you're just going down, picking up each breadcrumb. And while you pick up a breadcrumb, you turn on your camera and you say, hey, I found this today. Hey, this is what I'm looking at right now because this led me to this right. I ran into this person right here. This person contacted me with this information right here. I checked it out and it looks pretty legit. I'm still looking into it, but Out of the 5 pages of information I got, I could verify 2 so far. What they do is they focus on the other tree. They pin down the other tree that she has not said that she could verify yet. They talk about the thing that she has not verified yet. Self-admittedly, she will say, I've not looked at this yet. Self-admittedly, she will say, I made a mistake. This is insane. When it comes down to transparency, the only person between Candance and Erica and them and TPUSA and them and everybody else in them, and even that dude from that gun dude that hang out with Valhalla, that be over there by Valhalla sometime. What's his name? Paramount. Even he got into the mix and kind of try to fuck over Mitch a little. Mitch Snow, the guy that was at Fort Huachuca. He got into the mix and tried to fuck. This shit is weird as fuck, bro. This shit is hella weird. And the crazy part about that was Nate from Valhalla, due to basically proximity, right? And being a homie of the dude from Paramount, right? His name got brought up into it. Just because they acquaintances and they homies or whatever their case is, Nate's name kind of was drug into it, even though Nate really didn't do it. So it's kind of important on who you kind of, let's say, align with or do business with, because then that could affect your brain. But a little bit off topic, but yeah, Nate ended up taking a little bit of strays, nothing serious, nothing crazy, right? But him being friends with Buddy kind of put him in the light a little bit. It was strange. I mean, the reason why I think it happened too, because he was on the call at the same time or whatever the case was. But it was the other guy that kind of tried to fuck over the dude Mitch. So,
I mean, so I see something there more sinister, Nick. I really do.
I think it's certainly possible. And, you know, she's at a level where it would be hard to believe that somebody isn't in her ear, especially the stuff with like Brigitte Macron. That doesn't seem random to me. A lot of the things that are coming across her desk, it doesn't seem like that accidentally made its way into her inbox. A lot of that stuff seems like it's, you know, being promoted in some way. So I think you're right about that. I think your hunch is 100% on the money. But it's really been spectacular to see. At one point, I wanted to say, I think she needs to stop. She's damaging the movement. This is really hurting everybody. Now, I almost want her to keep going because I think she's sort of isolating herself, and now she's only damaging herself. I mean, in 2025, she had the rule of the roost, and I thought what she was doing was really irresponsible. I thought it was kind of hurting everybody that ever associated with her or sounds like her. After her show the other day where she said, I'm an alien and Charlie Kirk is a time traveler and he had Sumerian remote viewing technology. I think now everybody is just saying, okay, so this is just a crazy psychopath. You know, this is somebody that has, you know, no clue what she's talking about. So
once again, a lot. You see, it's a certain way that they framing this conversation. They're not framing it linear and with points. They're talking and they're talking like spaghetti. They're in and out the conversation. Sumerian technology. They're mixing up things that she said and putting it together at the end to make it seem so crazy and far-fetched and so out there. That's how I know they're the feds, though. Because if you are just a genuine person, right, with no agenda, then you would just say this is this and this is this and this is this. A lot of people are doing that, right? A lot of people are just watching the information being put out. Some people are taking it and running with it, doing their own investigations, right? Some people are just accepting it for what it is, saying that, you know what? I'm not an expert at researching. I'm not an expert at making videos. I'm not an expert at XYZ. So the information that's coming down, it seems linear. It seems okay. It seems all right. Some of it might seem a little far-fetched, especially when you start talking about the remote view and looking glass and all other things, right? We start talking about those type of things, it sounds kind of woo-woo, which is completely fine. Which is completely fine. You're allowed to say, well, this seems kind of far-fetched, but then again, you still got to give credit for the things that you know for sure make sense and is solid. They paved over the scene of the crime. Why? The alibi's not lining up. Why? The confusion about if there was drones or there wasn't drones. Why? You don't get credit for the shit that you popping on, right? But you will always get discredit for the things that you are willing to already admit that, yo, I'm not too sure about that. I'm still vetting that shit out, right? I'm still spinning it in the centrifuge. They'll go at that shit, but they will never go at the hard parts. The parts that could be proven true and true. They will never, ever mention them shit. You know why? Because they have an agenda. You know why? Because they the feds for real. This is some police ass shit, though. I'm about to get some more water. I'm about to play the video in the meantime, though.
So now I kind of want to see it keep going, because at a certain point you have to hope, like you maybe out of faith in humanity, you have to hope that eventually people are going to see this. Like the Egyptian plane thing, it was talked about in, what is it, 25 different shows she did. It's all fake. She literally just got it all wrong. And the guy did a great YouTube video about it. She comes out and says, well, I'm going to put out an interactive map and I'm going to put it up on my website because we have this. And she just never posted it. And then it's on to the next thing. It was on to the next big diversion, the Mitch thing. Now it's the time traveling. And you go, at what point do people just look at the logical gaps here, the plot
By the way, I
holes?
apologize, because I feel like if you ever go to like a county fair and you eat the cotton candy and then you're vomiting in the parking lot an hour later. I mean, with her, I went and looked at it because listeners wanted me to, and I was shocked. I feel sick looking at it. I haven't looked at her in about a week other than her attacking you. What's going on with the time traveling? What?
So she did a show and she said that the CIA, through Project Looking Glass.
So you watched the show.
What did he say?
Boy, y'all some weak. Boy, y'all weak, boy. Y'all some yellow bellies for real. Y'all, you scared and you weak, and y'all come together with y'all powers combined. Y'all just sitting up here lying. Y'all trash, bro. Y'all allegedly. You got Alex Jones, king conspiracy theory, but because you're not in the limelight no more, you gotta find something to do because you care so much about Candance. Because that was your disclaimer. You care so much about her, you respect her, you like her, and then you proceed to kick her back. You're a coward. That's some cowardly ass shit. Straight, ain't no two ways about it. That's some cowardly, backstabby ass shit. And if you think you look like a man for doing that, you don't. You look like a baby back biatch. Allegedly. That's what I heard on the street. You got Nick Fuentes, hyper controversial, that was invited to her show to give him a chance to speak his mind clear, to say what he has to say and be concise, no drama, no bullshit. Right after the show, you went on your show and kicked her back in. Because that's manly. That's how men actually act. That's what men do. They gossip and they talk behind people's back. After you were given the opportunity to speak freely. That's what men do. Because Nick Fuentes is the definition of a man. He's not a baby back biatch. That's what men do. That's why I want to hang out with. That's what I'm about to start surrounding myself with. Men that gossip and talk behind each other's back. That's what I want to hang out with. Trap, what up? I think that's extremely manly. Good job, Nick. You're a great representation. You are awesome representation of what is manly. What a definition and what the characteristics of manliness you exhibit them. Good job on you, you baby back bitch. Allegedly. That's the word on the street. I'm not sure. I'm just saying what I heard. It's so bad. This control opposition movement is so bad. You have Zionist Christian pastors in churches walking up to pulpits and podiums and starting their sermons talking about Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson at church. I don't know if you heard me. You have pastors in these churches that are hard up Christian pastors talking about Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson anti-Semites in a Christian church talking about what the fuck they doing over there in Israel. But it's not Israel, it's the Zionists. The Zionists give the regular average Jewish person a bad fucking name. You know why? Because they do the Zionist bullshit under the guise of it being Jewish suffrage movement. That's exactly what the fuck happens. That's exactly why the average Jewish person walking around New York, walking around Seattle, walking around Houston, walking around Minnesota gets a bad fucking rap. Point blank fucking period. And I don't see how people can't see this shit. And I know what happens. This is what happens. Either it's two things that happen. Either you don't really know the difference, which is fine in a sense, because ignorance is something that you could live with because you're just not knowing. And the other thing is they don't know the difference. So when they hear Jew or they see Zionism, they think it's one and the same. They actually do think it's one and the fucking same. It is not the same. Let's be absolutely clear. And let me tell you why it's not the same. Because here in this country right here in America, the Zionists are not Jewish. Yeah, they are. They are Zionist Jews. But the majority of the Zionists in this fucking country are Christian.
What did he say?
What you got, Trap? That's why they won't let us say that name. Thank you. Thank you. That's why I like kicking it with y'all, because y'all be knowing shit. Y'all be knowing shit. What you got, fam? Fanuel? That's a dope name. Fanuel? Like Manuel? Alex Jones. Alex Jones is a butt. Yes, he is. Super snake, dog. Yeah, I don't know. I don't disagree. Zionists, I believe that Zionists are. I do believe that about Zionists.
Has access to ancient Sumerian remote viewing technology. She says that Charlie was identified as a gifted child by some sort of shadowy occult force early on, groomed his entire life since he was a little boy to be the head of Turning Point USA. He somehow gained possession over the technology, saw his death in the future and how it would alter the space.
Nope, didn't say that. Lie again. Lie again. Nope, he didn't say that. Nope, no. But that's how we know you're some pussy. Yeah, sorry. Some soft ass feds. I don't disagree.
What did he say?
I don't disagree, bro. Yo, like, share, subscribe, hit the buttons, dog. Call the gang, tell them we up in here chilling for a little bit more. Probably got like 30, 45 more minutes, bro. I'm almost done with this one. Roll into the next video soon. I just want to close this one up.
Space-time continuum. And so, as I said, you know, at one time this was a story about Turning Point USA. Now Charlie Kirk is a pivotal figure in the multiverse and the space-time continuum. It's a conspiracy concerning...
Just to be clear, I can confirm this. I saw Jay Dyer yesterday with a post about this. He does satire sometimes. I thought it was a joke. Oh my God. Okay. Wow. And again, that's premeditated. She's going for the total lunatic faction. I mean, she is doubling down. God, and here it is. Charlie Kirk was a time traveler, and then he had agents, yes, like the Matrix, monitoring him from childhood. Wow.
I couldn't believe it either. I read the caption. I had to watch the video. I said, there's no way she actually said the words, but there it is. I'm an alien. He's a time traveler.
This is how disingenuous they really are. You said you watched the video and you still came out here and said this. Charlie got his hand on Sumerian technology that he was able to look into the future. These motherfuckers, boy, y'all are feds, dog.
You know, what is the
some
limit?
fed ass shit.
By the way, we'll come back and play that next hour, but let's get Nick Fuentes to the next level. And what that means is he's...
No, I refuse. Politely, Nick Fuentes, fuck you. And Alex Jones, politely, fuck you too. Y'all are weak. Y'all are cowardly. Y'all are scared. Y'all just want to be in the spotlight. Y'all some fucking haters. Y'all are some certified baby back biatches. Nobody's saying it but me. I'm saying it. Candance didn't say it. I said it. Trin from FDNHT. I said it. Yo, baby back bitches. You belong to the baby back bitch boy band. Soft as fuck. Can't stand y'all, boy. Y'all are just trapped. You got Steven Crowder talking shit. Temple talking shit. You got Ben shit. Oh my God. All right. Let's move on. Fuck, we like to play. Switch to this one.
Rigmarole is underway after Ben Shapiro made a shocking claim about right-wing political commentator Candace Owens during a live event with Megyn Kelly, alleging Owens had been spreading a conspiracy theory that grieving widow Erica Kirk was somehow involved in her husband's disturbing assassination.
I think that what Candace Owens is doing right now is evil. It is evil what she is doing right now. Okay, and I say that again.
But because like I don't opine on whether it's evil or not, but my position is it's really none of my business. And
why is it? But I have a question. Why is it none of your business? I mean, you comment on these things for a living.
I'm not mother of the internet.
No, but if this were on the left and somebody were accusing Charlie Kirk of his wife having murdered him, I assume that you would be talking about it.
Is that what Candace is accusing Erica of?
Yes.
Wrong again. You have. This is how bad it is. You have to lie. This is how left field and bad this shit is. You just have to lie.
Of murdering her own husband?
She's accusing TPUSA insiders and other members of the right wing, including Seth Dillon, of being involved in the murder of Charlie Kirk, yes.
Owens was livid about Shapiro's claim, writing on X that Shapiro lied through his teeth and that the allegation was made up out of thin air. Later on her podcast, Owens addressed Shapiro's claims, calling them crazy, and that Shapiro's lying was implied because he's a Zionist.
The least interesting part of this is the fact that he's lying through his teeth. That's implied he's a Zionist. And Charlie dies, and suddenly he's like, I care about this evil that could be happening. Candace is investigating who killed her friend, and she shouldn't be doing that. I mean, there's no way to spin it. What is his suggestion here? That me asking questions about Turning Point USA somehow means that I'm blaming Erica, who wasn't even working for Turning Point USA when Charlie died, because now she's the CEO? Of course he doesn't believe that. And it is just, to me, it is truly so gross to do this to a person that you know you tried to block, and you just, now that he's dead, I guess you want to sort of rewrite history.
Owens, a former colleague at Shapiro's The Daily Wire, has garnered an ardent following online and generated millions of views on her podcast episodes questioning the official narrative about Kirk's assassination at a Utah college campus on September 10th. In episodes titled Charlie Kirk Shooting Suspect Charged, Something Isn't Right, Who Ordered the Hit on Charlie Kirk, and Charlie Kirk was being tracked for years, Owens has spread conspiracy theories that Tyler Robinson didn't act alone in allegedly killing Kirk, according to The Guardian. Megyn Kelly, who hosts her own show on Sirius XM, also later came out to denounce Shapiro's allegations and was met with praise by Owens, who wrote on X, "Rarely in politics do you see someone lie so brazenly in an effort to morally blackmail someone into their position."
He said that Candace has been claiming Erica Kirk was behind the murder of Charlie, which I had not heard, and I was taken aback because that seems like something I would have heard. It's so crazy. And I have since learned it is not true. Candace has not made that claim. And in fact, I've now seen several clips of Candace specifically defending Erica Kirk and saying she would never make a claim like that about Erica, and that she is open-minded to other people at Turning Point. That's obvious. She's been making that point. I had heard that point. But she's specifically been defending Erica Kirk.
Shapiro's claim about Owens' Kirk allegations appears to have come from Steven Crowder, when on October 23rd, the Rumble political commentator remarked on a clip from Owens, where she appeared to connect President Trump to Kirk's murder.
My heart aches for the fact that he gave so much of his life to Trump and to politics, and they just were like, nope, that is it. He serves us or doesn't serve us, and we want to move on. And so here's a holiday. It's like, as soon as they give you a boulevard and a holiday, they definitely killed you.
What she said was, they, the Fed, give you a boulevard when that's a sure sign that they have killed you. You know that they have killed you. The federal government, the Trump administration killed Charlie Kirk is the claim. And this is the implication, of course, by design. And you can see the response with people out there saying, oh, well, then anyone.
But you see this, how disingenuous this is too. When you track what she was actually saying, she never said the Fed. She was using the Fed as an example because of the ML. These boy. Boy, y'all sick, boy. No, I had to do a reload. Let me put the video back up. Y'all sick, bruh. Y'all are really sick. Y'all have to lie. That is so. Y'all have to lie because you cannot combat the truth. Because what else are you gonna do? You can't say what she's saying is correct, because then what? That goes against what the Fed has told you to do. That goes against your own agendas. That goes against your own purpose and your own reason for turning on your red button. So you have to lie about it. You have to relay these things in a certain way to make it sound fucked up. But when you just go back and watch the video, peace, bro. Take care of yourself, you heard? Like, share, subscribe, bro, on the way out. Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate the commentary. You have to simply lie. Just simply because you cannot acknowledge what she's saying to be true. So when they tell you, go at this person, you have to find ways to twist what they're saying. You have to find ways to take what they're saying and jumble it up and reword it. And on top of while you're doing that, you just blatantly lie about certain other things. That's some Fed ass shit. That's Fed work.
The one who's close. Yeah, this is an inside job. You know who's really close to President Trump, and you know who people are now saying stood to gain? Well, Charlie's wife, Erica Kirk, who has now been put, Candance with that language, with this accusation, has put the wife of Charlie Kirk, and she'll say, that's not what I tried to do. It is. It's
wrong again.
It's the result. Erica Kirk in the crosshairs.
And some of them.
You see, you're only responsible for what you say. I'm not responsible for what you interpret shit as. I'm responsible for the thing that I say. However you interpret it, however you filter it, whatever filter you're using, that's upon you. But when you listen to things for emotional purposes, when you listen to things through your emotional filter, or you listen to respond, or you listen to debate, and you hear just to be disingenuous and cantankerous, right? That's exactly what comes out of it. You don't actually hear what's actually being said, because that's not the purpose of listening. You're not actively listening for the purposes of genuine conversation or genuine understanding. You actively listen in the name of fuckery. That's exactly what you're doing. But carry on.
The mainstream media have also been pushing back on Owen's claims. In an interview on CNN, reporter Elle Reeve tried to get clarification on Owen's main contentions regarding Kirk's assassination and pressed her for evidence on the political commentator's claim.
That's it. Shout out to the New York Post that did that video. Right? Second to last video right here. This is Jesse on fire. Shout out to Jesse. Jesse does good work. I think his channel is pretty dope. Do I agree with everything? No. Such is life, right? I'm pretty sure Jesse's not going to agree with everything that I got to say. Pretty sure we're going to stand on different platforms on different topics. That is life. That is life. That's how life works. Can we sit there and respect each other's differences, acknowledge our similarities, and have a fucking conversation? Productive conversation. We could agree on absolutely nothing the whole day, but guess what? You maintain humility and you maintain respect. Unlike the Anton Corey scenario, where all respect and humility was out the door, and it turned into a whole bunch of bullshit. Shout out to Jesse, bro. Big salute to you, my G. Say the course, my man.
Everything we're trying to do, ineffective, okay? Here, let me start.
This is the best explanation I've heard. I've tried to explain it myself, but this right here is the best and simplest, straightforward explanation I've heard so far about this. Take a listen.
By saying this, Alex Jones is going full throttle on Candance right now. He's like, he's going hard in the paint. He started off, he's like, Candance is my friend. I wanted to reach out to her because she's going crazy. She's doing whatever. And bottom line is, even with that, he doesn't understand what Candace's show is and what it's not. Okay. Like I said yesterday in my video that I did about the TPUSA financials that Wolves and Finance did, I called this the first ever open source investigation. Okay. And I meant exactly that. Okay. What this is, we never have had the opportunity to get the collective internet all of
What did
the
he say?
mommy slews, all of the, you know, all the men who are interested in the gun stuff, interested in the 30-06 stuff, interested in the lies that this person told, this person told. People looking into this string, they pull on this string, they pull on this thing, they pull on this string, they pull on this string, okay? And all of us collectively, we figure out what's real and what's not, okay? So when Candance says something on her show or puts someone on her show, and then that tip ends up not being accurate, that doesn't mean anything negative about Candance, because that's not her job, okay? Her job, Candance is the lightning rod magnet of all of the community tips, okay? Like, everyone wants to give her their information, and ultimately what she is doing, I don't even know if this is how she looks at her show, but I know that's how everybody should be looking at it. And it's how I look at it, which is why I couldn't understand why anyone saw what myself or Nate was doing as attacking Candance. I didn't understand. I'm like, what? Because the way I see her show is Candance she gets every tip on earth.
And that doesn't even make sense either, though, because he actually gives her a bunch of shout outs. He actually talks really highly about Candance. So I don't see how anybody could ever watch his show and get that. But like I say, people listen for their own agendas, right? People listen for their own response. People listen just so they can respond and be content. But my dumbass described it as people speeding on the highway, right? Candance leading the train, right? A bunch of people like to speed, so they all get in the left lane and they hauling ass, right? On the interstate. That's how I describe it. Candance leading the pack. But this is a way better explanation. Shout out to Jesse again.
And she vets them. And if she can verify enough about a tip or about a person or whatever, then she puts it on her show. And she says, this guy says that he saw this and he saw this. I verified he's at Fort Huachuca. I verified that he was a Green Beret. Here's his story. And the reason he's on there, like, what, no one knows what that would mean. What she puts him up, and then we go investigate him. That's the whole point. That's the whole entire point. Okay, she said that 50 times. She's like, I'm not saying that he saw Erica or he saw Brian Harpole. I'm saying he saw that he did, and I verified that he was actually at Fort Huachuca, and I verified that he really was a Green Beret. So, like, here it is. And everybody's like, well, so what does it even mean? Like last night, everybody's like, so what does it even mean if he's at Fort Huachuca? It doesn't matter. That's the whole point. That's for all of us to figure out if it matters. Like, that's what this entire thing is. We're investigating this together, all of us. Every single person that's interested in this case. This is not about fighting with each other about who's right and who's wrong.
Yep.
Okay. If a string gets, put on her platform, and it's like, I heard that this, and this, I heard that there are Egyptian planes that are following. I heard that there are this that are following. I heard this. Then everybody goes and investigates it. If you find out that the Egyptian planes were not following Erica Kirk, that doesn't mean it. That's not a gotcha on Candance. That's not her fucking job. How many people does Candance have working for? You have any idea how much stuff we've learned about the Charlie Kirk case since this happened? The number of people who are pulling on strings and chasing down leads and looking at this stuff. She should be putting every credible tip that she gets on her platform, and then we go run them down. Okay, then we go run them down. Okay, now I understand why she's defending herself, because like there were like, and there's like people who are like, listen, this guy's not real, and they use it to attack her with. Okay, but the point that I'm making is that's not an attack. It doesn't matter. If you figure out that he's not real, then you just put it out and you're like, hey man, we looked into this guy, he's not real. And then that's the end. Okay, what Candance said, like, if you go and look at what she said online, she said this is turned into this huge thing. I think it would be best if Erica and Brian Harpole just provide alibis so we can all move on. The only thing that matters about this case right here is whether or not Erica and Brian Harpole were actually at Fort Huachuca, and if they weren't, we're done with it. That's it. Okay, this is not some like there's no.
It's so strange, dog, that people don't see it that way. Like, it's so plain. It's just something so plain and so easy to comprehend. That's how you know it is agendarized. It is a specific controlled opposition for a specific reason, which is to pretty much defame, in a sense, right? Tar and feather her, label her, put labels on her in a certain way, in a certain manner. We talked about labels early on this week, when you label something on somebody. When we talked about the Isaac Cappy show, right? When we did the Isaac Cappy show, we talked about labels. So when they constantly berate her make her seem like she's off the marker, make her seem like she's off the reservation, like she's this crazy person lying and making shit up, right? It's all to defame and take away from her actual character. That's all it is there for, man. And it's fucked up that they are ganging up on. Hey. It's fucked up that they gang up on her like this. Like she's literally being ganged up on. Pastors, potters, even other conspiracy theorists, even people that talk about the Zionist world the same way that she does, even they are stabbing her in the back. Hey, this is madness, bro. But that's how you know exactly what it is. There's no, like, there shouldn't be any confusion. I put it like that. There shouldn't be any confusion about what this is. Shouldn't be there shouldn't be any confusion because it's plain as day. At least to me. From where I'm standing right here, it is plain as day. There ain't no damn ferret, fool. That fool said ferret. Oh shit. That ain't no damn ferret. Mr. Young Thug. Jesus is the way, the truth, and the light. Amen, bro. I'm jacking it. Bro. Hell yeah. This is madness, bro. There's no two ways to describe this other than a full-on agenda. You know what I mean? But we push on, man. Let Jesse close.
No war here. There's no conflict here if everybody understands what Candace's show actually is. You think Candace is going to solve this by herself? She can't. No one can, dude. No one can. Okay, tomorrow, me and Heavy Duty Country are going to take frag rounds, 30-06 frag rounds.
But that's pretty much it, though. Simple explanation. Just that simple. It's just that simple, man. It's just that simple. Just plain as day, like Jesse just explained. We about to close out with
we're gonna
Coach Collins. Coach Collins dropped a vid. I want to clip it up real quick, talk about it real quick, and then we out. Steve. Hey.
You son. Huh? What? Huh? Who said that? I get punched in my lip? I hope he lets me come back to this time. I enjoy it here quite a bit. I don't know. 80s were not the best time. Not for me, at least. I was a fetus. I was small. I mean, could barely defend myself back then. Let's jump right into it. Balix Tones first on the list. Now, this is remarkable. This is how you know.
Shout out to Coach Collins for defending Candance, right? He's actually one of the people out here defending her. So shout out to you, bro. Big salute.
Something's really, really going on.
Baron too. Baron defends her. Baron talks highly about and defends her. What are you doing?
Because Balix, of all people, Balix is completely shocked that Candace is bringing up time travel. What? The guy, do you know the things that have you actually kept up with him through the years? Do you know the things that he has said? And we all, again, I've brought this up before. We all just went, well, we'll see if he's right in a few months. That's what we did for him. Do you know what kind of things he said?
Real talk.
Like what? It was so remarkable. He was telling us that politicians eat people. And he's surprised about time travel. You know what else? You know what else is wild? He's on record saying that what Candace was talking about was real. He was saying that it was real. He's been saying it was real for years. Mm-hmm. And now, all of a sudden, when he's $1.5 trillion in debt or whatever it is, all of a sudden now he's in this interview with Nick. He's sitting down with Nick and he's like, now she's talking about time travel? Like, what's going on here? You know, are you joking? That's how you know something's going on. That's how you really know. Candance is not nuts. When she says the usual suspects and people are actually like activated to go at her, she's 100% right. And that shows it more than anything. Not only that, but then he suggests that he actually says that he and Candance should take a test for substances to see what she's on, because he's convinced she's on something. I was just like, I'm like, wow, these are such low down textbook tactics, right? You try to make someone seem crazy. You try to make them seem like they're on something. That's exactly what they did to Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle was running on cigarettes and fumes while he was filming the Chappelle show. And when he walked away from the $50 million, they were like, you know what? Yep. You know what, guys? I think he's on crack. Yep. That's what they did. I'm not making that up. They did.
And it was his right-hand man, too, the one that was the one that wrote the show with him. Like his right-hand man, the one that was there all the time. Not Mooney and them other guys that were like in and out, like running skits here and there. It was the guy that was with him every single day. The guy that was with him every day. He didn't say it, right? It's like, hey, is he okay? Is he using substances? I can't tell you if he is using substances or not using substances. What type of answer is that, right? If you're there with him every day, like you know, y'all spend hours, the majority of a day together, the majority of a day with somebody in a room, writing the show, and you turned your back on it. No, it's true. It's absolutely true.
He did that. They spread that rumor, of course. And now he's doing the exact same thing. He's saying that he'll take a test alongside of her. Keeps inserting himself into the weirdest places, you know? It's so odd. And then he suggests that what she's showing us.
Coach, let me tell you, he ain't the big cheese no more. He's not the big dog on the block no more. He is so irrelevant. He is so nobody even talks about him anymore. Which has to be a devastating blow to an ego when you were that person that everybody ran to. Everybody ran to. Your shows on YouTube, the radio show, the local joint you had, everybody went over there. Everybody went over there. Coast to coast, internationally, everybody ran to Alex Jones. Now he's a shadow, a figmentation of that. He's done. And it's his own doing. It's his absolute own doing. He's jealous, bro. He's a hater. Real deal hater, dog.
In her episode, Candance, who's just literally talking. What we see right here. I'm not even gonna play the audio. Just this. What we're seeing here, this composed person talking, he's saying that this is alcohol-fueled schizo. That's what he's actually saying. That's what he's suggesting about her. That's how you know there's a real tactic afoot right now. People have really activated. And Nick is sitting there with him like, yep. And then he starts talking about how ridiculous it is that to suggest that Charlie was a time traveler. It's like, bro, he said it, not her. She's not making it up. She's not like, I think my friend was a time traveler. I don't know. He was really tall, okay? And he spoke really well. It was very odd. I think he was from another time. That's not what she's doing. It's very odd to see. And then it goes to all levels. And I'm going to talk about where I've seen this before too.
It's not odd, bro. It's strictly agenda-based. It's fed work, bro. Yo, like, share, and subscribe when y'all pull up into the room here. We only got maybe 15 minutes left. You heard? Appreciate the support.
I'll have to tiptoe around the name. Can I just say Orange Man? Maybe I'll say Orange Man. I don't like calling him Orange Man, but you guys know what I'm talking about when I say that. It goes to all levels. Ambassador Mike Huckabee is even chiming in on it. He goes, for older Americans, this is the part where Rod Serling steps into the shot and says, we have entered the Twilight Zone. They're all starting to go at him. All of them. And we have an email here about Charlie's school. Hopefully it's actually a solid, people are saying Christian Heritage. I don't think it was Christian Heritage. It's not a gifted school. Anyway, I'll read that in a second. Actually, near the end, I'll read it with the super chats. So this guy's suggesting this is the Twilight Zone, right? And let's just hear what she's saying. That's like the Twilight Zone. That's crazy.
Why did Charlie think he was a time traveler? He said, as I showed you in earlier messages, that he was a time traveler and he had to find me. Is that just something people are saying to their homies in text messages? And again, not anything that I would have placed so much emphasis on back when he was saying it, but it came to fruition. The other parts, he did die young. Why did he think that him dying young was necessary in order to change things? He did die young at a campus event for Turning Point USA. I'm totally occupied by this. I tell you, I read these messages and I'm going, what is this? What is reality, actually? And Charlie died. Yes, like I said, it was related to this organization. And I think we would all agree that his death and the manner that they did it changed the world in ways that I don't think we can fully realize, or certainly not in a way that I can articulate.
Right.
You just cannot pretend that all of this is one big unhappy coincidence. It's entirely plausible, I think, plausible that they knew something about Charlie. And that's why they had him marked and had him monitored and had him likely followed since he was young. And maybe they thought, like the agents think, that if they swarmed him and they stayed with him and they pretended to be his friend, that ultimately they could control Charlie and perhaps change an outcome. They could literally change an outcome related to Charlie. So when for the first time in his life, because I do believe he was managed, I mean, I've already said I was handled. I didn't recognize that I had a...
You see what I mean? Like this is supposed to be the thing that's just so crazy, especially, and this is why I say you can tell something's afoot from a guy like this, Mike Huckabee. It's like he for sure knows, okay? For sure knows about these things because everybody knows. It's public. You can search it. You can search it and find it. There's some documents that are even still around. There's actually there's hundreds of documents that still exist towards all this stuff that she's talking about.
Yep.
None of it's fake. None of it's not real. But the fact that they're trying to make the public seem like, wow, this is Twilight Zone, right? This is the craziest thing ever. Even Scott Jennings chimes in. And why on earth would Scott Jennings be chiming in about this? It makes no sense. He says, if you've heard someone muttering this on a subway, what would you think they were dealing with? Or what do you think you were dealing? What would you think you were dealing with? Right? Trying to suggest that she sounds like a crazy homeless person.
Politicians are involved. Trying to tear down this person and cast disparagement upon them and their reputation and their character. That's to tell you, when you know you are onto something, you grab people attention and they have to try to do some damage control work. Because I tell you what, when I moved down to Louisiana, somebody said, a hit dog will howl. Never heard it before in my whole life, but I knew exactly what they meant. And it seems like simply asking the question about what really happened to my homie, Charlie Kirk from Candance, it seems like Candance looking into this and figuring out these one or two things that's going on here and over there and finding these names and putting things together. It seems like every time she turns on the red button and the red light comes on, she chucks a stone and she hits a dog and the dog starts to howl. I don't care what nobody said. Because if it was a bunch of bullshit, nobody would pay attention and they will let the noise just get quieter and quieter and quieter and quieter. It just fades completely out. But the fact that the attack is coming in from all angles, from all these different, let's say, groups, right? All these different pockets, the church pocket, podcaster pocket, politician pocket, right? TPUSA pocket. The fact that she's being attacked on all sides by these different groups, these different entities, tells me exactly what it is. This is a fed up, controlled opposition attack because a hit dog will fucking howl. That's it. Point blank period across the board. If I see it, if Coach Collins see it, if Jesse sees it, I know a lot more people see it. Yeah, you heard that too? Yeah, hit dog. Yep. Yeah, exactly. If I'm seeing it and he's seeing it and Jesse sees it, there's other people also that's seeing this also. They might not have cams, right? If you go on the Twitter is booming. Twitter is off the scales with this shit right now. So many people pulling information from so many different pockets. So many people doing their own investigations. Look at John Bray. John Bray pulled this. That shit that John Bray did is dog. That man used his skill set and technology, bro. It's amazing work. Shout out to John Bray. Shout out to all guys for doing the sound analysis of it. What are you doing? people know what's going on. Hence the reason why they have to send these high level people, right? These people with some type of say so, these people that got some type of pull, a little bit of sauce here and there to fight against them. A hit dog will holler. Hit dog will holler. A hit dog will holler. Trust.
While she's saying things that are completely real. Scott Jennings, another guy. I feel like he might even have a military background, Scott Jennings. Maybe not. Maybe I'm thinking of someone else that's a correspondent. But for even him to think like, and maybe he's just a journalist. Even if he's just a journalist, you know about these things. It's just mind-boggling to me. And again, I've seen this before. And this is the frustrating thing, because when I saw it the last time, it was during the time where Orange, Mr. Orange, no disrespect to Mr. Orange, Mr. Orange was running. Okay, he was trying to get in office, and anytime we'll call the other guy Mr. Old. You remember Mr. Old? Where'd Mr. Old go? By the way, I haven't seen Mr. Old in the news at all, and his wife Jill, I haven't seen them at all. Right, Hunter, Jill, Mr. Old, Biden. I think you can say that. When you would see him in the news, and he would, trip over himself, fall off a bike randomly while it's not moving, fall upstairs, call Zelensky Putin, just all sorts of wild things that he would do throughout his term. You would see something happen in the news and on X out of nowhere, where it was almost like there was this unspoken, that we can see, unspoken banding together and all of these outlets and all these people, because it wouldn't just be outlets, it wouldn't just be corporate media, it would also be creators. They would all band together and start saying the same thing. Now everybody remembers Sharp as attack. Everybody remembers, oh, he's fine. He's smart. I saw him do a backflip. He picked me up over his head and he spun me in a circle and then he grabbed me and held me like a loving baby. He pushed my car. He picked my car up off of 2 tires. I saw it with my own eyes. He's strong. He's virile, right? You had Corinne Jean-Pierre, whatever her name was. Is that what her name? She'd be like, he's completely fine. He's actually the best he's ever been. Joe Scarborough. This is the best version of him you've ever seen in your life, okay? And if you can't handle the truth, you need
old time buddy.
Just shut up. Those are real. I'm not making that up. Those are real things that were being said. And it was odd because I was covering it all and it was so hard you couldn't prove it. You could not prove it. But you would see the reaction. Everybody, and this is why I always say, be wary of people who speak in unison. Because when you're seeing 15, 20, 30 people from different outlets, different walks of life on X, and they're all speaking in unison, something happened. I don't know what, but something happened behind the scenes.
But you see though, that's simply explained like this, coach. People are paid to either do something or not do something per se. That's another part of control, right? I could pay you to actually make a couple accounts and start some shit and put some shit in motion. Get some followers along with the bots. We start putting stuff in motion so it gets hot and heavy, so it starts ending up on timelines, start bouncing around. That's a real thing. That is an absolute real thing. I forgot the name for it, but it's a specific term for those people that do that. Hopefully it comes to me soon, but it's a real thing. It's a dead ass real thing. People are paid to do things, and they also pay people to not do things. Like, let's say I don't want you to speak on Mr. Old, right? Then I pay you to not speak on Mr. Old. Because if you do speak on Mr. Old, because you're one of those channels or those Twitter pages that got hella juice, and simply if you talk about something, right, it simply can turn into some live action in motion. So I could pay you to not do that. And at the same time, give you another check. And I say, well, you know what I want you to talk about Mr. Orange. So you're getting 2 checks. You dig it? Simply. And that's exactly how it works. I forget the name of it. It's pretty much
that's
like
exactly what we're seeing here. Scott Jennings?
But
why?
It's a word.
Why would he even feel like he has to chime in about this? This is the equivalent of him commenting on one of my videos. I would be like, what's happening? I'd be like, Scott Jennings saw? Like, he for sure didn't see this. Someone sent them this clip and they said, hey, say this. I don't know. That's my attitude. Then you see guys like this. The dude who literally has a military background. No offense to those that do, but hard to trust someone that does. You know what I mean? Especially when they start doing stuff like this.
Candace Owens now believes that the shadow government, specifically the CIA, have a project Looking Glass of which they have stolen advanced technology that can allow them to see into the future.
And again, this is a guy that actually has the background. He knows that exists. He knows that they were looking into it. Another guy with that type of background who's talking about this. This is very weird. I was going to talk about Gary, the amazing Gary. I mean, he's right up there with Mikey McCoy when it comes to, just great people in the world, But even he's doing it. He's like time travel. But here's the thing. Here's the reason why I wanted to talk about Gary quickly is because when he when he was on the phone with Mitch, he actually said to Mitch, he said, he's talking about Mortal Kombat Ultra. He's talking about that. And he's like, it still exists. And he's like, I think I have pretty good proof that it still exists. What? Is that not in the exact same wheelhouse of what Candance is saying? And then he actually has the nerve. And this is how you know something has been activated. Because he actually has the nerve to then be like, let's talk about this. She's gone full sci-fi. That's what he says. She's gone full sci-fi. Now, you know what's something that's very odd about Gary? Just a little side note. And, I think Gary's great. Gary is like, he's like the Joker to my Batman, I'm Mint Man, okay? I'm in the city of Philadelphia, and I'm Mint Man. And he's like Joker, And Gary just runs up and he goes, Mint Man, we meet again, Mint Man. Well, riddle me this. I have a message from Andrew Colvett, and this is what it says. See this right here. Gary, it says at the bottom of that, you're not supposed to share that with me. Oh, turns out it does. It does say that. Okay. All right. I have to go now. I've messed up greatly. Okay. All right, Gary. Okay. I'll see you later. All right. Let's put everything aside. Okay. You and me. Let's go have a steak dinner. You want to have a steak dinner? I got an Egyptian plane out front. It'll take us wherever we want to go. I have this great place, a great restaurant at Fort Huachuca. You can trust me. Let's go at midnight. I'm not trusting you, Gary. We're not doing that. But Gary's one of them. Candance actually has a response to it. This is just one of the responses. Somebody just said basically what we're talking about here. You touched on something this week. Many important topics, but one that is for sure, our awareness alone is fighting part of this battle. We must all keep talking. The web of lies is unraveling, right? And she responded to that. And it's true. Like, you can tell she's hit on something here, right? And also, just to play this really quick.
That Charlie said, and it's so weird. They're like mocking Charlie by mocking me. He said it. He said he thought he was a time traveler. He went to a special school. And yeah, it's very interesting that these programs existed. I honestly think I was spared. So interesting to hear you say they wanted to...
So just that right there, it's him. They're all mocking Candance, but it's him that said it, right? And I'm not going to go down the road of, they're mocking Charlie and they're terrible. But, I've seen this happen before. Like I talked about, when somebody Orange was running for office, I saw this type of thing happen and Candance is a lot like Orange, very much similar in this way, is when people see her or saw him, still to this day, their decency, their sympathy, their regular human inclinations towards being polite and being civil, all of that goes out the window. That's why we've seen, Tim Pool act the way that he's acted. We've seen Balix act the way that he's acted. We're seeing person after person just having no problem attacking because there's something. And again, it seems like they've banded together in some way. And I don't
Fed control ops.
think they all said, guys, can we all get on a group chat and talk about truth and decency? Let's all attack a woman. Hey, a bunch of grown men in here. Hey, let's all attack one woman, okay? Like, what? That's how it works? I don't think so. You even have this person. I mean, listen, I know this dude works with Balix. I know some people might like this dude, but I just found it so weird that you have post after post. He's just talking. He's like, pure nonsense. You bots all fell for it. The next thing, taking apologies. So it's like weird. The same day, taking apologies. Then another post. Candance fans are officially morons. Then another post. Then another one, taking apologies again. Just every time she makes a video, he's like, apologize to me, please. And then another one. It's like, what's happening right now? How many posts? You just did that on your own? It seems very weird to me. I don't believe people are doing this on their own. Candance does have a response, not to that person in particular, because nobody seems to respond to that gentleman. He's constantly putting out posts where he says, any Candance fans want to debate? No, dude, we don't want to debate you, bro. None of us care to debate you. Why would we? We're watching a lady do an investigation. What is there to debate about? We're just waiting until it's done. And we're just along the way listening to everything and looking into things. No one's debating you, okay? Why you go to debate club, nerd. Anyway, sorry for everyone that was in debate club. I'm sorry you caught that stray. I apologize to you, not to him. Anyway, this is what Candance had to say. I honestly view these people as my PR firm. I say something sensible and true. They overreact and pretend it was crazy, thus leading people to watch the content only to discover what I shared wasn't crazy and rather interesting. That is exactly what's happened. And back when Orange was doing his thing, and things are much different for Mr. Orange nowadays. I mean, it's rough to see, but it was along the same things. Somebody would be like, well, Mr. Orange said something completely racist. And you're like, whoa, did he? Well, let me go check that out. And then you click on it, you listen to it, and you go, huh, I didn't hear it. Do I have to listen again? And the next thing you know, you've listened to 2 hours of him speaking, and you're like, I kind of like this guy. I don't know. And that's what they're doing. And I know everybody doesn't feel that way, but that's exactly what's happening with Candance. I've seen this before. It's very similar. And I like that it's a former, I like that it's a prez that I am comparing to her, because I do think she's going to step into that arena one day, whether she likes it or not. Oh, is that Gary again? Hey guys, we're doing a live. Everybody come check out the live. 74 likes.
That's the dude name. Gary from Paramount. That's his name right here. That's his name.
74 likes. Somehow there's like maybe 2,000 people that check it out. There's something up with that guy's account. No.
Easy day. Yo, coach, appreciate you, bro. Stay the course. Go to work. Yo, At the end of the day, we're looking at somebody that's been extremely calm, extremely stoic, showed emotion at times, which is probably just uncontrollable because she lost her friend. But 9.9 times she hits that red button, the red light comes on, and she is calm, collected, stoic, straight to the point, no ad hominems, don't talk about people, drops off the information that she's receiving, talks about it, says what she's looking at, what she has, what she's completely ciphered out, what she's not ciphered out. And that alone is enough of an issue for people to jump out of the woodworks to attack. Don't y'all not see how wrong and crazy that really looks? And all this person is saying, I want to know what happened to my homie. Because what I've received so far makes 0 sense, and I do not believe it. That's it. But the people who swear to God they was close to him, the same people that said they wasn't tight, the same people that condemned her and said that her and Charlie wasn't homies, which that was also proven to be a lie. The same people that said he never ever received, or he never talked about him being removed, neutralized, right, executed, right, the day before, said that was a lie. Then we turn out and find out that that was actually the truth. He actually did write that in a message to 2 people, I believe, 2 or 3 people. Come to find out, he'd been talking to Candance about him leaving this planet in his younger years, not in his old age, but in his younger years. They can't dispute the thing that she's really on the mark of. They can't dispute those things. Because every time they've tried to, she has given the receipt and proven them to be the liars. But people still think she's somewhere just off in La La Land and off the reservation, just talking to her ass. That's how you know it's agenda. That's how you know this is Contapos, controlled opposition. That's what they are, Contapos. I'm done for the day, bro. It's right there for everybody to see. It's right there, plain as day, for everybody to see. But like I said, people listen for their own agenda and purposes, and people listen just to respond. People listen just to turn around and lie. Because that's all I've heard pretty much all day. From Alex, AJ, from Nick Fuentes, NF, from sorry ass TPUSA members, the security guy, he's off the chain, bro. COVID's a TPUSA guy. TPUSA guys, Erica really can't account for shit, hella shady, look flawed, fake, phony. The dog. And she's just literally laying down breadcrumbs. And people are taking it and running it with it and doing whatever they want with it. And that's all she's doing. But that's the issue. Because she's asking the questions. Just like Charlie Kirk said. Keep asking questions because that's the only way we'll be free. And that's exactly what she's doing. Yo, peace, power, prosperity to the village gang. Y'all know it's a love thing. Every time you pull up to the town square, hit the like, share, and subscribe. Put this video in the algorithm. More people could see it. Get my channel pumping a little bit more. I'm already at 1,000. Appreciate all the support so far getting here. And I look forward to making, getting some more subscribers, right? Hanging out with more people, having more conversations, just hearing different angles. We're not going to always agree, right? But we can always live a life of respect and humility. We can always say that we disagree and keep it pushing. We can always say we disagree. I'll see you tomorrow, G. That's it. It happens here already. So imagine with more people in the room, it's probably going to be more personalities and more different opinions, which is fine. This is a safe place. Just be respectful, right? And be humble about this shit. Other than that, we cool. We absolutely cool in this room in the town square. Y'all know what I'm saying. Yo, love yourself so you can love the people that surround you. Take care of yourself so you can take care of the people that surround you. This thing in life is a marathon, right? It's not a sprint. So take your time and move with purpose. You heard? Train every day like your marathon is tomorrow. Like, well, Trin, the day before the marathon, you're not supposed to do anything. I know. Calm down. You literal asshole. But y'all know it's the love thing. True and true, man. Welcome to the town square. I see y'all later on again. I'm planning on shooting a video later on. I'm not sure which one. But tomorrow I'm shooting the history of Trinidad. Brief history of Trinidad. We talk about Trinidad, where I'm from, where I was born, right? Before I came to the States. We'll do a brief history on that, have some fun, talk about some shit. And then that video is also sponsored by Mike Love, too. So shout out to Mike Love sponsoring the history of Trinidad for the channel. Peace, love, prosperity. I see y'all soon, Jared. Shout out to the mods. Shout out to the chat gang.